The Dickens may take him, I'll never forsake him. As steward, I'm now employed. How dreadful when an ears and heart becomes the floors of that young heart, and still more hard on old Adam, his former faithful body does come, his former faithful body does come, his body does come, his body does come, his body does My face is the index to my mind, all venom and spleen and gall. Or properly speaking, it soon will be reeking of venom and spleen and gall. My name from Adam Goodhart you'll find I've changed to Gideon Crawl. For a bad but steward whose heart is much too hard is always Gideon Crawl. How providential when you find the face and index to the mind, and evil men compelled to call themselves by names like Gideon Crawl, to call by names like Gideon Crawl, like Gideon Crawl, like Gideon, like Gideon, like Gideon.
This is a painful state of things, Gideon Crawl.
Ah, painful indeed, my poor master. When I promised that come what might, I would obey you in all things, I little thought to what a pass it would bring me. The confidential advisor to the greatest villain unhung. It's a terrible state for a good old man.
Very likely, but don't be gratuitously offensive, Gideon Crawl.
So, I am the ready instrument of your abominable misdeeds, because I have sworn to obey you forever in all things. But I have not sworn to let consistent and systematic villainy go unreproved. If you insist upon it, I will swear to that too, but I have not yet sworn it. But now, sir, to business. What crime do you propose to commit today?
How should I know? As my confidential advisor, it's your duty to suggest something.
Sir, I loathe the life you are leading. But an honest man's oath is paramount, and I obey. Robin Dauntless is here with pretty Rose Maybuck to ask your consent to their wedding. Poison their beer!
No, not that. I know I'm a bad bard, but I'm not as bad a bard as all that.
Well, there you are then. What's the use of my making suggestions if you're not going to act upon them?
How would it be, do you think? Were I to lure him here with cunning wile, and then with good stout rope bind him to yonder post, and then by making hideous faces at him, curdle the heart blood in his artery, and freeze the very marrow in his bones? How say you, Gideon Crawl? Is not the scheme well planned?
It would be simply rudeness, nothing more. Now, if you were to seize Rose Maybud and incarcerate her in the lowest dungeon beneath the castle moat, that would be truly disgraceful. But so they come.
Happily coupled are we, you see. I am your jolly Jack Tar, my star, and you are the fairest, the richest, and rarest of innocent lasses you are, my pearl. Of innocent lasses you are. And my favourite gale will sail over the treacherous sea with me. And as for bad weather, we'll brave it together, and you should creep under my lee, my wee. And you shall creep under my lee, my wee. For you are such a smart craft, such a little sweet craft, such a right little tight little tight little light little trim little prim little craft.
My hopes shall be blighted, I fear, my dear. The month you'll be going to sea quite free, and all of my wishes you'll go to the fishes, as though they were never to be for me, as though they were never to be. And I shall be left alone to mourn and weep, and you'll go out to sea and you'll be as certain of me by floating with every woman you meet. You'll cheat, with every woman you meet.
So, pretty one, in my power at last, eh? Know ye not that I have those within my call who would, at my lightest bidding, immure ye in an uncomfortable dungeon, where you would linger out a lonesome lifetime in silent solitude? What ho! Within there!
Hold! We're prepared for this. Here is a flag which none dare defy. And while this glorious rag floats over Rose Maybud's head, the man does not live that would dare to lay unlicensed hands upon her.
Foiled! By a Union Jack! But a time will come and then...
Let me plead with him. Sir Ribbon, have pity. In my book of etiquette, the case of a maiden about to be married to a man who turns out to be a bad baronet with a curse upon his head is not considered. It is a comprehensive book. It is not as comprehensive as that. The time was when you loved me dearly. Prove that this is no selfish love by calling your consent to my marriage with one who, if you do not you yourself, is the next best thing, with your dearest friend.
Five little piggies, trim little laugh.
For a week I have fulfilled my accursed doom. I have duly committed a crime each day. Not a great crime, I trust, but still, in the eyes of one so strictly regulated as I used to be, a crime. But will my ancestors be satisfied with what I have done? Or will they regard it as an unworthy subterfuge? Oh, my forefathers, wallowers in blood, there came at last a day when, sick of crime, you, each and every, vowed to sin no more, and so, in agony, called welcome death to free you from your cloying guiltiness. Let the sweet psalm of that repentant hour soften your long dead hearts and tune your souls to mercy on your poor posterity. One's vision, what thou, that thus with icy glare and stern relentless brow appeareth, who knows how?
I am the spectre of the lakes of Ruddigore, who comes to warn thee that thy fate thou canst not now avoid.
Alas, poor ghost,
The pity you express for nothing goes. We spectres are a jollier crew than you have supposed. We spectres are a jollier crew than you
when the night wind howls in the chimney cowls, and the bat in the moonlight flies, and inky clouds like funeral shrouds sail over the midnight skies, when the footpads quail at the night birds wail, and black dogs bay at the moon, then is the spectre's holiday, then is the ghost high noon. Oh, then is the ghost high noon. High noon. Then is the ghost high noon. As the sop of the breeze sweeps o'er the trees, and the mists lie low on the fern, from great tombstones are gathered the bones that once were women and men, and away they go with a mop and a mow to the revel that ends too soon. For cock and roll limits our holiday, the dead of the night high noon. The dead of the night high noon. High noon. The dead of the night high noon. And then each ghost with his lady toast to their churchyard beds take flight, with a kiss perhaps on the lantern chaps, and a grisly grim good night, till the welcome knell of the midnight bell rings forth its jolliest tune, and ushers in our next high holiday, the dead of the night high noon. The dead of the night high noon. High noon. The dead of the night high noon.
I recognise you now. Got a picture that hangs at the end of the gallery.
In a bad light. I am
And are you considered a good likeness?
pretty well. Flattering.
Because there's a work of art. You were poor.
That's true.
No doubt. Wants tone. Not mellow enough.
I am crude in colour, but I have only been painted 10 years. In a couple of centuries I shall be an old master, and then you will be sorry you spoke so lightly of me.
How came you to be Lord Mayor?
I couldn't help that. It was part of my hideous doom.
Poor soul. And may I ask why you have all left your frames?
It is our duty to see that our successors commit their daily crime in a workmanlike and conscientious fashion. It is our duty to remind you that you are evading the very conditions under which you are permitted to exist.
Really, I don't know what you'd have. I've only been a bad baronet a week and I've committed a crime punctually every day.
Let us inquire into this. Monday,
Monday was a bank holiday.
true. Tuesday,
On Tuesday, I made a false income tax return.
That's nothing.
Nothing at all.
Everybody does that. It's expected of you.
Wednesday,
On Wednesday, I forged a will.
whose will?
My own.
My good sir, you cannot forge your own will.
Can't I then? I like that. I did. Besides, if a man can't forge his own will, whose will can he forge?
Something in that. Seems reasonable. At first sight, it does.
Fallacy somewhere, I fancy.
A man can do what he likes with his own.
I suppose he can.
Then he can forge his own will. Stupid. On Thursday I shot a fox.
That's Better. Pass the fox, I think. Yes. Pass the fox.
On
Friday.
Friday, I forged a cheque.
Whose check?
Gideon Crawls.
But Gideon Crawl hasn't a banker.
But didn't say I forged his banker, I said I forged his cheque.
That's true. Yes, it seems reasonable. At first sight it does. Fallacy somewhere.
Lord, Saturday I disinherited my only son.
But you haven't got a son.
No, not yet. I disinherited him in advance to save time. You see, by this arrangement he'll be born ready disinherited.
I see.
That's fair enough. Yes. Seems reasonable. First sight it does. Fallacy somewhere.
Yes, well, these arguments sound all very well, but I cannot help thinking that if they were reduced to syllogistic form, they would not hold water. Now, quite understand us. We are foggy, but we do not allow our fogginess to be presumed upon. Now, unless you undertake to, well, suppose we say, carry off a lady. Those in favour of his carrying off a lady? And those of the contrary opinion? Yes, well, you're never satisfied. Yes, unless you undertake to carry off a lady, I don't care what lady, you choose the lady, you perish in inconceivable agonies.
Carry off a lady? Certainly not, on any account. I have the greatest respect for ladies, and I wouldn't do anything of the kind for worlds. No, I'm not that kind of bad baronet, I assure you. If that's all you've got to say, you better all go back to your frames.
Very well. Let the agonies commence.
Ah! Ah! Don't do that! I can't stand it! Ah!
Painful, isn't it?
Ah! Stop a bit! I want to speak!
Better?
Yes, better now.
Well, do you consent?
It's such an ungentlemanly thing to do.
As you please. Carry on.
No, stop! I can't stand it. I agree. I promise. It shall be done.
Today,
Today.
at once.
At once. I retract. I apologise. I had no idea it was anything like that.
He answers to our call. We do not ask for more. A sturdy fellow after all this latest Ruddigore. A sturdy fellow after all this latest Ruddigore. Oh, perishing alone, there is divine. We want your pardon, there we go. We want your pardon, there we go. For having agonized you so. So pardon us, so pardon us, so pardon us, so die. So pardon us, so pardon us, so pardon us, so die.
I pardon you. I pardon you.
He pardons us, he pardons us, he pardons us, good Lord.
dear master, you are not well.
Won't do, Gideon Crawl. I've just seen him. Well, my ancestors, they've just gone. They say I must do something desperate at once or perish in horrible agonies. Go to yonder village, carry off the maiden, bring her here at once. I don't care which, anyone, not a word, but obey, fly. Away remorse, come action hands, go moral force, go penitence. To virtue's plea a long farewell. Propriety, I ring thy knell. Come guiltiness of deadliest hue, come desperate deeds of daring do. Henceforth all the crimes that I read in the Times I promise to perpetrate daily. Let me my heart on a regular course of Old Bailey. There's confidence tricking, bad coin pocket picking, and several other disgraces. There's postage stamp rigging and then thimble ringing, the three-card delusion at races. Oh, a baronet's rank is exceedingly nice, but the title's uncommonly dear at the price. Ye well-to-do squires who live in the shires, where petty distinctions are vital, who found out the names and local museums with a view to a baronet's title. Ye butchers and bakers and candlestick makers who sneer at all things that are trady, whose middle-class lives are embarrassed by wives who long to parade as my lady. Oh, allow me to give you a word of advice, the title's uncommonly dear at the price. Ye supple MPs who go down on your knees, your precious identity sinking, who vote black and white as your leaders indict, which saves you the trouble of thinking. For your country's good name, her repute or her shame, you don't care the snuff of a candle, but you're paid for your gain when you're told that your name will be graced by a baronet's handle. Oh, allow me to give you a word of advice, the title's uncommonly dear at the price.
Was a very abandoned person,
making the most of evil chances.
Nobody could conceive a worsen.
Ignore the old romances.
I blush for my wild extravagances. But be so kind to bear in mind
we were the victims of circumstances. I was once an exceedingly odd young lady,
suffering much from spleen and vapours.
clergymen thought my conduct shady.
Didn't spend much upon live.